Kyle Rittenhouse, he is the 17-year-old who killed 2 people in Kenosha. And a judge has agreed today, you might have just heard that on the bottom of the hour news, a delay for a month on a decision whether this 17-year-old from Illinois should be returned to Wisconsin to face charges. But here's what I can tell you. There's no stand-your-ground law there in that state. And according to the criminal complaint, Rittenhouse was speaking to a reporter named Richard McGinnis just before the shooting happened at around 11:45 p.m. McGinnis told police he was walking with Rittenhouse and warning the teen he was not handling his weapon correctly. And then we learned the first person who was shot and killed, his name is Rosenbaum. A lot of people were speculating and saying that Rosenbaum threw, in fact, I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, the speculation, and that's what it was. It was speculation that Rosenbaum threw a Molotov cocktail. Not the case, according to the report. The report says it was a plastic bag that was thrown at the teenager, and Rosenbaum was unarmed. Now, it does say that in the complaint that Rosenbaum was unarmed throughout the encounter, and Rittenhouse raised his gun at him. At that point, McGinnis stated that the first round went into the ground, and when the second shot went off, the defendant actually had the gun aimed at Rosenbaum. McGinnis stated that he did not hear the two exchange any words at all, which is interesting. The complaint also states that Rosenbaum was attempting to grab the barrel of the gun when he was shot, at the moment he was shot. After the first shooting, the reporter tried to give Rosenbaum medical aid, but didn't work. He was just dead right at the onset, shot in the chest. That is at the point in the complaint where they say that there were several individuals that chased him. And I'm talking about the 17-year-old after the shooting, one of which tackled him. He fell down, hit him with a skateboard. That was the other individual that was shot and killed. The third individual did have a gun but never brandished it during the entire...
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay, I'm reading the criminal...
There's a video, Brian. Okay. He clearly brandished the weapon.
Okay, so I'm reading the criminal complaint.
That's fine.
I don't know where you're getting your information from. You're entitled to your opinions, but what I am doing right now is not giving any opinions. I am reading the criminal complaint.
An opinion.
Okay, I am reading the criminal complaint. So if you disagree with the criminal complaint and the investigation, that's fine. But I'm just sharing with our listeners what took place there. And then, as we know, he was illegally carrying this firearm. We know that for a fact. We also know that the mother was there brandishing a weapon as well, who dropped her son off and then was with this militia, so to speak. And the head of the militia, by the way, the head of this militia who was there made a statement in regards to dead people and body bags. 702-257-5396 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation.
He was called a white supremacist on multiple occasions. I think actually Joe Biden called him a white supremacist yesterday. Several prominent politicians called him a white supremacist. Kyle Rittenhouse, he just hired Nicholas Sandmann's attorney, Lynn Wood. He is going to get filthy rich off of this, Brian. And as far as a plastic bag, how do you throw a plastic bag? Have you ever tried to throw a plastic bag with nothing in it? You can't.
So,
it doesn't throw.
All right. So, hey,
so there had to have been something in that plastic bag. And from what I was told, it's a Molotov cocktail.
Okay. Well, I don't know who told you that.
And why would Joseph Rosenbaum grab his gun?
First of all, I didn't say it was empty. That's number one. We said it was a plastic bag, and I am going by again
with nothing, with no contents mentioned of what was in it whatsoever.
Listen, again,
I know you literally if it's an empty plastic bag, you cannot throw it.
Okay, I didn't think this was going to be another debate in defending the 17-year-old. Well, no, you're right. It shouldn't be a debate. The 17-year-old should not have been there. He was illegally carrying a gun.
Totally.
He shouldn't have been there. He gets what he deserves. And by the way, I'm not giving opinions when it comes to that report. It was the Kenosha County DA criminal complaint, which I read in the highlights of that report. 257-5396.
By the way, Kyle Rittenhouse was a youth cadet. He was a volunteer firefighter, and he was a lifeguard at the YMCA.
Completely irrelevant.
Kyle Rittenberg, he was not there to kill people. He was there to protect things.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's what he was there for. That's what we're going to find. That's why he's going to win this case.
So because he did AP classes in high school and he worked at the YMCA, I guess he can't be a murderer. Okay. Well, O.J. Simpson plays golf and he gives people golf lessons. So again, he can't be a double murderer either.
That's a terrible comparison.
Well, it was a terrible thing that you brought up.
17. No,
just because the kid was painting off graffiti doesn't mean he didn't break the law. That's an absurd thing that you just said.
Painting off graffiti. He is a youth cadet volunteer.
So because he's painting off graffiti, what does that have to do with anything?
He is a firefighter volunteer.
So
he is a YMCA. What I'm saying is that he's a good kid.
because he painted off graffiti,
I believe his intentions were good. Mm-hmm. Just like you, when you say, "Well, this person must be racist because they've got a history of saying racist things," I'm saying the exact same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. He has a history of being a pretty decent human being. So I believe that he was well intentioned here.
That's fine,
and it's okay. I understand you can make that argument sometimes, and I can't. But I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Well, I find it very interesting.
What's that?
That this 17-year-old who killed 2 people, who is, by the way, now behind bars.
Who killed 2 career criminals.
If I can please talk for more than 5 seconds.
Who are still committing more crimes. Okay, but yeah, I'm listening, sorry.
So I find it very interesting that a 17-year-old who killed 2 people, who is now behind bars facing some very serious charges. You want to talk about his history of the good things he does, and you think he's a good kid. But when attacking LeBron James, you fail to mention the good things that LeBron James has done in his life. By the way, LeBron James has never been charged with a crime. But you fail to ever mention anything good.
We're
when
not
it comes,
talking about that,
okay,
Brian.
but I am right now.
No, but
I find it very interesting.
Why would I have to bring that up?
Why would you have to bring up him cleaning up graffiti? Why would you have to bring that up?
I'm saying with LeBron James, why do you want me to bring up? I mean, obviously LeBron James has done a lot for his community. I understand
which you never bring up.
Yes, of course. We talked about it on multiple occasions.
So why not give
Brian.
LeBron James the benefit of the doubt?
Since our conversation was not going in one direction, now since I didn't totally just jump outside the conversation and bring something positive into it, now you're trying to use that as your argument. It's not going to work again, Brian.
Well,
your tricks are old. Let's go.
To you, it doesn't work, and these aren't tricks; these are facts.
They're tricks.
Okay, well, you can say tricks all you want to, and you could, demented mind, you can say whatever you want. But the bottom line here is that I find it very interesting that immediately when this story came out, you came to the defense of this 17-year-old that killed 2 Black Lives Matter protesters. But yet when it comes to NBA players, particularly in this situation, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Rioters, Brian.
Okay, you're interrupting me again.
Protesters.
Okay.